We nearly needed RJ Heal there. There he is. We nearly needed you there, RJ. My audio was off ski. There you go. Good evening, everybody. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. With me tonight, we have Danny as Galandra Rivenstar.
Hey, guys.
We have Michael as Tharaval.
Hi, everyone.
We have Wes as Valashil Nostius.
Hello, everyone.
Dave as Thomas Moonstar.
Evening all.
Mark as Lance.
Evening all.
And Pete as Draken.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
It seems that your picture. So Michael is currently down as Mark, and Mike and Dave is Michael. I'm assuming whenever Mark jumps in video wise, it'll sort itself out. Yep. Okay.
I can play a big tree.
Yes. Okay. So let's put this tavern music back on. And welcome RJ Heal, it seems to be our savior when it comes to the audio. Good day, adventurers. May the nat 20s be in your favor. May the gods curse the DM with nat 1s. That doesn't happen, RJ. That doesn't happen. These guys love their critical fails. Right. Okay. So, we basically in the last episode we had we sort of basically came to the city of Taunt. Our group got molested by a bunch of urchins who tried to steal Galandra's sort of necklace that was given. Sorry, what's it called? Amulet that was given to her by her bae. Athea Taunt, and she managed to get it back. They went into a local inn called Alistair's Rest. Sir Alistair's Rest. Tharaval found out that a bit more about his brother. That his brother, he met a merchant seaman who basically told him that he had given passage to his brother and was in, what was the name of the place? Something Ford.
Dawn Ford.
Yeah, Dawn Ford. In Kyrelia.
City of Dawn Ford.
Yeah. And then later on found out that Sir Tristram, who was a knight who helped fight in the Battle of Silkside, had made his way to Cragmere in the inn after sort of talking to a chap in the pub. What else did we do? Lance went off to talk to a artificer called Cleveland, who basically said, you know, I can fix your legs for you. I can give you magic legs like Lieutenant Dan if you want. But it's either going to cost you 500 gold per leg for a risk or 1,000 gold for, you know, a very minimal risk on your sort of your increase in your leggage. They've then taken himself off to the library to see if they could sort of find some blueprints for Warforged effectively to sort of help the artificer and maybe sort of reduce the price somewhat. Whereas the rest of them took themselves off to Resident Seer and Child Prodigy, Doogie Howser. Within Doogie Howser's sort of tower, within the area of the old, sorry, not the old district, the Appleside. Was it Appleside? Yes, it was Appleside.
So,
yeah, Appleside, yeah. They basically said, so Tharaval wanted to sort of, he had a bracelet and he wanted to see if he could see anything with regards to his brother. Draken wanted to sort of find out a bit more about his father, who he had a dream when he was back in Falcross. He wanted to find out a bit more about that. And Galandra wanted to commune with the darkness within her and see if she could get some insight into what was happening with the corruption around Freya. So we basically had them left off. They'd all taken a pill, bar Valashul, who had who just stood guard. and they'd all dropped into sort of trances. Draken was shuddering a bit. Galandra started shaking quite violently. And then that was it. We did some sort of downtime stuff, so if people want to check our Discord, we've got quite a prolonged story for each person of them. So Draken's got a long story, Tharavol's got a long story, and we just finished Danny's and Val's sort of kind of story as well. You can check that out on our Discord channel if anybody wants to. What we're going to do is, because you effectively have just woken up within sort of, similar times to each other, you're going to need to tell each other. Well, you don't have to, but you can tell each other what's gone on within your dreams, and it'll help sort of the listeners understand what's happened and what's gone on and stuff. So you're in the tower, and go. There you go.
Who wants to go first?
Okay.
So I say,
Drake.
we're going to have to assume that everybody. So basically, Tharvol said that he sort of gets up, feels a bit upset about what he's seen and takes himself off. Draken sort of kind of wakes up, a bit pissed off, and Galandra wakes up basically choking, and then Val's just sort of wakes up with because he was in the dream with Galandra. So we'll say it's roughly about the same time. Maybe Tharavol's sort of taken himself off just before this has happened. But you are sort of out and about at the same time.
Okay, Draken kind of sits up and claws clenching and is looking rather tetchy, shall we say. And is looking for something to hit.
Dougie sort of kind of looks at you and says, Dragonborn, what did you see?
I saw the truth.
May you
behind.
Do you want to elaborate more?
My father is, or at least I am related to, Red Scale.
Who is Red Scale?
He killed my mother. Red Scale. Red Scale is one of the ranking members of the corruption.
Interesting. Anything more?
Why are you so keen to know?
Well, I am a seer. It is my job to see
Queen.
things and record their visions. What else did you see?
The Queen, my Queen, who I served, hid this from me for many years. They will have answers. I will have answers.
Cool. So basically, in Draken's sort of dream, he's basically witnessed two Dragonborns having an argument, and the sort of male Dragonborn sort of hits the female, and she bangs her head and unfortunately dies. Turns out, though, you didn't mention this. It turns out that your mother was the sister of Queen Ember. She was a princess. Yeah, she was a princess who obviously chose badly, because she chose a chap. Now, what did I call him originally? Begin with a D. Drogoth. It was called Drogoth. Yeah, it was called Drogoth. And he basically he kills. I don't think he intentionally kills her, but with his rage, he has attacked and killed his wife, Draken's mother, and was going to basically take Draken as a hatchling before Queen Ember turned up with some of the guards. He killed 2 of the guards, and then Queen Ember stabbed him with a concealed blade, and he was taken away by some of the local guards. In the guardhouse, he's basically started cursing Bahamut, and Tiamat, or the human visage of Tiamat, has come to see him, and he has sworn himself to her service and renamed himself, and she's renamed him oh no, that's it, sorry. She says that he's her son. She says that he was her son as well. So you potentially are related to Tiamat as well. Yeah, so she said, you're my son, you are Tiamat Red Scale, and the Red Scale basically comes from the fact that he was, covered in blood. And you saw you also saw a visage of Red Scale assaulting a fortification, and him and his men massacring a bunch of civilians and eating their hearts, basically. And that was your sort of kind of your dream sequence, basically.
Anybody would wake up Tetchy from that.
That was your dream sequence.
Technically does make Draken a demigod.
Well, it depends. It depends if he is actually related to her or not, or if it's just the fact that she's a dragon and he's a dragon. You're a dragonborn, and I guess you'll find out at some point in time. Okay, so Doogie sort of, while you're talking about this, or you're telling him the story of what you remember, and in your dream, he's sort of kind of writing this all down in a sort of like in a journal. He sort of looks at sort of Galandra, and he says,
glares back at him.
Yeah, and he was just like, yours seemed rather violent. And you, Valashul, you connected within her dream. Tell me about it.
Well, Seer, I believe I used the word safely when I asked to look through the window. I don't
he sort of laughs. He's like, I'm
all.
afraid there is no safety in seeing. It is what it is, my dear.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. I said, I was faced with Tiamat herself, and rather than safely looking through the peephole in my head, it was more like a nightmare. I'm trying to choke down some water, holding my neck.
Tell me of the location. Where tell me of the. Actually, wait. I'm trying to think. No, Val saw something. It was Emerald. Sorry,
it's a life tree.
Yeah. So the life tree. Describe the life tree to me.
It was part of my homeland where I first encountered the black-haired woman. It was where we had our religious ceremonies, and it was where I first felt my power, and where she proceeded to massacre my entire village.
And he sort of he's like, and the violence of your coming to, why? What happened?
The wretched woman turned into a hugely disfigured dragon arachnid.
Well, she basically turned into Tiamat, so she basically turned into the five.
Yeah,
the five.
She showed her true form.
Yep.
And began attacking us in our dream sequence. I put my hand on Val's shoulder.
Oh, have you got a milkshake? Oh.
No, Fanta.
Oh.
Fanta with ice. I put my hand on Val's shoulder and say, I don't know how that would have ended had it not been for Valashul here. And I give him a squeeze on the shoulder and a nod.
Oh, this sounds interesting. Tell me, Valashul. What is it you saw? What did you do? What did you do?
Valashul's still a bit uncertain. He's making sure he's still grounded in reality, so he's checking himself over, patting himself down like, is this real? And then he looks to Dougie and he says, I did the only thing I could do in that situation, and I attacked.
You attacked Tiamat? You are brave, my boy. You are brave. Actually, he says my boy and he's a boy, but you are brave.
Brave or stupid, I haven't decided.
I'm a happy pregnant lady.
All right, I'll sort of kind of give the gist of the sort of kind of the storyline. So basically,
I saw Thrembor.
Did you, or was it Val that saw Therembor?
Did I see that? I thought it was.
I thought it was Val. So you don't know.
me.
You don't know about it. Val saw it. Val saw it when he.
Oh, okay.
Val saw it when
I
he.
saw it.
No, Val saw
Oh,
it
when I touched. Yeah. Okay. I'm. Yeah, I know what you're on about now.
Yeah, Val saw it when he touched. Was it when he touched?
When I touched Glandra.
Yeah, when he
My
touched
head.
Galandra, when you were sort of kind of there, he basically started seeing things. So he was basically the darkness sort of channeled into him, while you were sort of being zapped by. You were in a trance. Basically, Tiamat had you basically dead to rights, and Val came in to try and save you, and that's when he sort of got the first glimpse of Therembor. So basically, Therembor, the story is that he was a sort of a normal sort of soldier in a far off land, not Freya, in a different land. He saw his family getting murdered and raped in front of him by crusaders who were dressed in the sort of tabards of Tiamat, not Tiamat, of Bahamut. He's seen this and then sworn vengeance. He's then sort of given himself the lady with the black hair, sort of she's come and seen him and said, you know, I can give you revenge, and all I need is your service, be my general, lead my armies. And he's basically,
Is this Val recalling this in the room, by the way?
Say it again?
Like me in the series. Is this Val recalling?
Yeah,
this in
yeah,
the
yeah.
room?
We'll say it sort of that.
So I'm listening, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically he will join his army. He will lead the army, and they will, and that's pretty much. So he's seeing this sort of kind of. He's basically seeing the origin story of this black figure who was. You'll obviously recognize this from the death of Soldum.
Yeah. I'll respond.
Yeah. And after that's happened, he's come in, he's basically flew in, he's chopped off one of the hands of the not completely transformed Tiamat, but basically she's basically got a hold of Galandra's head, and is basically sucking all of the life essence out of her. Valashil chops her hand off, which sort of falls to the ground and skitters away. Both of them sort of kind of rise up after some good rolls. They show they put their shields up to sort of protect them from this sort of ice, sort of razor sharp ice rain that's coming down, and they place their swords out. And Huthway's Bane, which is Galandra's sword, and Holy Avenger, which is Valashil's sword, when they sort of start being close together, they start singing, and it sort of fires out this sort of radiant light in the direction of Tiamat, who did not like it very much at all. She didn't like it up her. She didn't like it up her at all.
Remember that for future.
Yeah.
Does that work outside of the trance?
Well, we don't know yet.
See?
We don't know
always,
yet.
yeah, we can always try.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And then it's sort of, long story short, they sort of go into the life tree. At the start, basically, Tiamat has turned around to Galandra and said, "There's a box in here. If you're so powerful, why don't you just open the box?" And this box is basically a metaphor for the darkness that is inside Galandra, and the tree is effectively Galandra. So, though we did sort of find it slightly weird that they were, Valishul was entering entering the tree, but we kind of
Skimmed over that.
Yeah. And they go into the tree, which seems to have this ward again. When they have the swords out, seems to ward Tiamat sort of kind of, any damage they can have. Galandra then decides to take her sword away from the door and stab it into the box, which is sort of spewing sort of black viscera and bile and stuff. But as soon as she does it, she feels a sharp pain inside her and falls to the ground, like pretty badly wounded. Val realizes that, she's effectively just stabbed herself, and picks up the sword and starts pointing it towards the door again to try and stop Tiamat from basically killing them both. As he does this, he sort of makes a quick turn with the blades, and he points it at the box that's inside the tree, and he basically destroys it with the radiant light that's coming from these two swords. They're both sitting there congratulating each other on a job well done. And unfortunately, due to the sort of kind of time that there was between the swords sort of kind of going to the box and obviously getting stabbed into the box, the severed hand now sort of turned into a sort of mutated arachnid / facehugger, lunged onto Dany's face and started choking her, and then she woke up, and that was it.
After Val has regaled us all with that eventful tale that was not meant to be eventful, Galandra goes white as she recalls dreams she's had previously of a man having his family slaughtered by Bahamut's followers, and the armored figure that was in the temple dream sequence, and puts two and two together and realizes that this may well be the armored figure that killed Solden.
Yep, and somebody else as well who you don't know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will have my revenge on him.
You will have your revenge. Tharaval, they're sort of kind of recanting their tales into the thing. Are you coming back into the room? What are you doing?
Yeah. Basically, Tharaval's woken up slightly before the other two. He's very disturbed as to the sort of vision that he's seen. He comes back into the room and asks Doogie Howser how accurate are the things that have been seen. Are they what is, or are they possibilities, or?
He says to you, he says, if you had no link to this person, it could be a mirage, it could be a possibility, but because you had an item that sort of linked to somebody, that has sort of been like a divining rod, and it will be, I'm sure, the truth.
So on hearing this, it just you can see the sorrow in Tharaval's eyes. His head drops. He just sort of his soul sort of just seems broken. He looks to the rest, and I fear I've made a grave mistake in the past. And then he continues to describe what he saw. Basically, Tharaval can see is sort of taken back to not long before the darkness took his father and his brother and his family and things like that. He sort of sees, but not from his point of view. He sees it as a fly on the wall. He can see his brother and Guilus Lorfair, his brother, an alternate, not a ranger, but
An auxiliary.
An auxiliary, sorry,
Yeah.
who'd been befriended by his twin brother. So from this, the sort of events carried on of the darkness taking the party of rangers in the forest one by one into the sort of screaming darkness. Then, not long after that, it was moved to visions of Tharavol's father being tortured in front of his brother. Basically tortured to the sort of, to the point where there was no coming back, trying to get information and trying to get his father Athlon to submit, which he wouldn't do. And his father spat the blood from his mouth into the torturer's face. Then basically he was tortured for so long. He was the torturer was sort of left him to basically die from the wounds that he'd sort of been given. At which point Guilus had managed to escape and make his way in, and attempted to rescue his father, but Tharavol's father told him not to. That his body was broken. He was covered with blood. There was bits of flesh hanging off him. He couldn't walk. So he pulled Guilus in close and told him to save Rin. And doing this, he grabbed the knife of the knife that Guilus had been holding that he used to escape, and he thrust it into himself, and just basically told Guilus to promise him that he would do whatever it takes to save Rin. Rin then goes looking for, Guilus goes looking for Rin, and can hear that he's being tortured, and he sneaks up behind the torturer and stabs him, and they freeze Rin, and they sort of try to run, and sort of make their way through a sort of labyrinth of dark corridors, until they sort of eventually reach a gate, at which point they sort of believe that they're going to make it out. And when they make it through the gate, there's a large dark armored figure who again seems to be mentioned in other visions. This armored figure, I believe, takes Rin into another room, or Rin's taken into another room, and he's trying to persuade Guilus to, basically surrender himself. And Guilus is actually quite strong, sort of trying to take along the lines of Rin and Athlon, and basically tells him to fuck off, until he hears screams of pain from the next room as Rin's being tortured. He then is taken into the room, and he begs Rin to surrender, just so they can survive. And Rin, trying to sort of, be like his father, refuses to do so. So Guilus, at this point, basically knows that Rin will die honorably, like his father and like his family would do. So he sort of tries a new tactic, and he says that that his father is still alive, and that if he surrenders himself, they will let us all live. In which case, Rin eventually does, not happily, but he does surrender himself, and they're sort of taken to a plantation.
No, they're basically they're
sorry.
not. So basically, it sort of skips forward, so it sort of ties in with some of the stuff that Gilus has told you. So for people who aren't sort of aware of this, Gilus is a character which we encountered near the start. So basically what's happened is you effectively joined the army, joined their forces, and Gilus has basically mentioned that in Al-Zaharak they were ambushed. I can't remember the name of the pass, but they were ambushed by Al-Zaharak forces, and a lot of them got killed. But they basically used this as a way to sort of escape. So they've escaped and ended up hiding out in a plantation in Al-Zaharak, and that's where they are there.
Yeah. So basically, while they're hiding out in this plantation, there's a young farm girl who, is basically helping them to hide. Called is it Alandria?
Alandria, yeah.
And although the plantation is by no means perfect, the two of them definitely, their days are better at the sight of Alandria, and they both obviously have feelings for her, but the feelings are only returned to Rin. So Gilus is kind of not confused. He is happy but crushed at the same time. He's happy for his friend and his his sort of his brother in a way, but at the same time he's heartbroken because he's in love with Alandria, but he knows that Alandria is not in love with him. She's in love with Rin. At which point, I believe that the plantation starts to get attacked and they need to escape. At which point, Gilus tells Rin and Alandria to gather their things, and on his signal to make a run for the cornfields, get to the port and escape. Basically, they try their best to persuade Gilus to come with them, but I think Gilus has sort of made up his mind that although he wants to go with them, he can't really sort of take the heartache of seeing the two of them together. So he's basically sort of trying to do the honorable thing, and whatever, trying to help himself anyway. So he basically causes a distraction and giving themselves up while they can make their way to the port. Then the next thing that Tharavel sees is himself. This is a different time. He sees himself and a group of people that he recognizes being the other people of his group, as or some of them, Lance and Draken, Solden's there as well. And then he realizes that what he's seeing is through the eyes of Gilus, in the storeroom in the tavern. The blood is dripping from his mouth, and Tharavel kneels in front of him, and Gilus, for a moment, feels a sort of connection with Rin because of the similarities and everything like that. There's the last thing he sort of hears and sort of mutter through his head is the words that Rin said to him before they left, is we'll see each other again in this life or the other. At which point Tharavel takes his sword out and stabs Gilus through the heart, or through the mouth, and that's the point where Tharavel wakes up and sort of falls to his knees holding his mouth as if he felt it actually happen. At that point, from Gilus's point of view, it was the first time in years where he felt free, He didn't feel like any darkness was within him, so it was almost as he'd been set free from whatever had a hold of him. I think that's basically it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Daisy, the sort of the secretary, sort of hears you tell the story, and she starts sort of kind of weeping, and she's like, "You killed this man. You killed this man."
I did. I am not happy for it. I have my reasons as to why, but I understand that this man was not. We were shown the wrong side of this man from his actions towards us. He tried to kill my friends. He left us to die on multiple occasions. We could not trust him. But I understand now he was not all evil. He meant the best for my brother and for my family.
Doogie sort of solemnly sort of nods as you're sort of kind of talking. He said, he's like, not all men show their true colors until the end. This man may not have been darkness, but neither was he pure light either. Do not be so hard on yourself. You had nothing, you did not know, and you were only trying to protect your friends. He would have done the same for your brother.
Tharaval again nods in a sort of recognition, but he's in a bit of a sort of mental state of woe. Basically, his mind is sort of cast to Guilus, and as well as to Sir Tristan, and it's the list of people that he feels that he's let down is starting to sort of stack up, and it's starting to have a bit of an effect on him. At which point he just leaves the room.
I have to say, I was quite impressed. I was quite proud of my little story.
Yeah, it was good. I was just like, oh god, this is grim. Especially the bit where he sort of sees himself as, he sees himself killing himself. I was just like, oh, no.
I had that for you. I was like, it was going to be like I was going to tell it bit by bit, all the different things as it went along. But obviously, as you killed him, I was just like, all right. And I was like, I need to tell this story somehow. And then, obviously, I got that. So that was it.
My brothers that want to talk to each other will like put an ice cube down the back of their neck or something. That's a little bit extreme, isn't it?
Anyway, he was a complicated character, was Guilus. He was a complicated character. Okay, so that that's the three of you. You've sort of said your piece. Doogie basically says to you, you're more than welcome to rest here for a moment and sort of get yourself about you. If you will let me keep your stories in my library, there is no charge for this.
Who has access to your library, Doogie?
That would be me and some of the other seers in the guild.
Why is it important to hold on
Seers.
to this?
Well, we keep track of all of our of the visions. It is the view that these are mosaics to not mosaics. These are tiles to create a mosaic of what is happening to us in Freya. This is the bigger. This is to build up the bigger picture that that Bahamut has designed for us.
May I have a look?
You may have a look. So he sort of he passes you the book, and it's it's his handwriting's not the best, but it's effectively shorthand versions of your stories. He says, Daisy will we will send this to the actually we will send this to the monks at the we will send this to the monks at the temple chapel what is it? This it's not the monastery. It's not a monastery. Is it the cathedral? I don't know. Marduk, the chapel of Marduk. Yeah, and they will transcribe it and make it more legible for others to see. But it is just your stories and your visions. It is believed that these could be helpful in divining what ails this land and how we can deal with it.
Okay, so is this book just our stories that we've got in our hand, or is this like a journal that has other people's stories in it?
The thing he sent you is basically his notebook. And it's got, there's other stuff in there as you sort of kind of flick through it. But you're not going to, you don't really recognize a lot based on what's there. Basically, you kind of know these stories are yours because there's certain things that you kind of recognize what's going on, but the other stuff doesn't really make a lot of sense to you.
Matt hasn't got storyline for what you're asking.
No. I was just wondering if there's like any other characters that have been there that we could potentially like see what they've seen and decide what's going on. But
well, you do sort of. I'll give you this then. Actually, give me a give me a. Ooh, what's it going to be? An insight test? Would it be an insight for sort of kind of
Insight's trying to read people, or
would it be investigation?
Investigation, or
yeah, give me an investigation.
Not that I'm very good at it, but oh
yeah. You notice within the book you notice a sort of a mention of a Micah. There's a mention of a Micah. There's a name, like it's like there's some other bits and pieces, and there's the name Micah, and you obviously recognize the name Micah from the battle of Silkside.
So to add to Farival's agony, as he's leaving, I ask him if he'd like to have a read of what Micah saw.
He's just. I know it's not. So basically, you basically turn to Doogie and you say, we know this man. We know of this Micah. Was and you'll say, was he here? And he says, no, it wasn't Micah. This isn't Micah's dream. This is a. Well, I can't tell you the name, but this was somebody else's.
So Doogie's saying he can't tell us the name, or you can't tell us the name?
Doogie can't tell us the name.
Patient confidentiality,
is this... Was he a jolly loud fellow?
A jolly loud fellow? It's confidential. I can't tell you. I shouldn't really let you have the. I've only shown you the book to show that I have nothing to hide, but I can't give you these details.
I'm tempted to rip the page out, take it with.
To agree with you. How about we let you keep our stories if we can take this one?
So if you give me the name of the person who wrote this, you can have my story. Otherwise, I take it with me.
All right, you're gonna roll intimidate. Are you gonna roll intimidation then?
I'll do it. No.
Balls.
Bear in mind, he is a seer. He's a magic user.
A seer prodigy.
I'm not. This isn't. He's not threatening him. He's basically. He's yeah. But either way, it's gonna be crap. I'm trying to think of in a deceptive way. How's the best I can do this?
Say you're a member of the guild. You are also a seer. No.
Yeah, I'll just go with persuasion and try that. Because I'm not trying to.
I'll give you advantage. I'll give you advantage because you've got Val there as well. And he sort of kind of looks at it and he goes, He says, "This is the story of a Sir Tristan. He came here to find the whereabouts of a fellow of his called Micah."
Tharavel nods in gratitude and says, "My story is yours," and then leaves the room.
And Valishal offers him the notepad back.
Cool. You don't want to ask any more about what you're sort of going, oh, so it's Micah. All right, okay, here you go.
I was under the impression it was literally all he was going to give us is the name, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You could probably ask him a bit more and stuff. Basically, I'll just say, he basically tells you that, he's gone to Cragmere, which and he's gone to. Let me see. Where is the? Because I started doing the map for Cragmere. Where is it? Did I post it here? There it is. Oh, might as well put you across here, just so there's a little bit of a change. So he says his family, Micah's family were farmers in Pineacre.
My stupid thing is
Okay.
pain in the ass, and I can't really see it. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
So yeah.
West Coast.
Okay, is there anything else that we can get off him, so I can do my sort of moody storm out of the room?
No, that's it.
Okay, Tharavel storms in a mood.
Okay.
Child.
Brooding.
Right. Okay. We'll flick over to Thomas and Lance. You fellas were in the Great Library in Taunt, and you were sort of looking for books and stuff on Warforged, and you haven't really found anything so far.
But we did persuade the librarian to go and have a look for us. So
Yes,
we
you
can
did.
do that later,
Yeah.
in exchange for some Q&A.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Thomas, I understand that you have obviously sacrificed a lot of your morning to help me, and at this point in time, I don't think that there's anything really to keep you here. And I understand you probably have business of your own that you wish to carry out. Shall we proceed somewhere else? I shall escort you in case you need some help, and we can come back later on.
From here, I intend to head to the Magic Quarter. I understand you have business with the Artificer, so
I don't really have business with him until I can bring some research. So I'll accompany you for the time being, and it will save me from standing here while everyone stares at me, because it is starting to become a little troublesome.
In that case, let us head to the Magic Quarter.
Okay. So you sort of kind of make yourself towards the same place as the rest of them. So you're all going towards Appleside. As you're sort of kind of making your way there, you notice a large tower in the center of the Magic Quarter. This is the Seers Tower that the rest of the group are in. Are you guys leaving this tower? Or are you sticking around in the tower for a bit?
Tharavel wanted to visit the mage, which I think was on the first or second floor.
Yeah. Okay, so they're still in the tower. You've got pretty much lots of stalls. There's very fragrant sort of incense burning, like colorful sort of kind of like flags and drapes and all kinds of sort of filigree and totems around in this area. Lots of potion shops and men of a potential magic doing.
So, Thomas isn't really interested in the bright and the gaudy and the in-your-face kind of stuff. He's more looking for the back streets, the shady dealers, the darker sort of side of town. if you
Okay.
like.
To sort of, wait, do you want to ask somebody, or do you want to sort of just wander?
Oh,
or-
no, I'm just looking around with my eyes. I'm not asking so because what I'm looking for is anywhere that looks like it would have anything to do with sort of death, skulls or skeletons or that kind of vibe.
Okay, roll me a.
I'm looking as well, so I should give him advantage.
But are you telling Lance about this, by the way?
Not really. I'm kind of keeping this to myself, so no advantage, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, investigation. Yeah, well, sort of to the north of the sort of kind of magic quarter. There is sort of a there's a sort of a street that looks a bit less sort of gaudy and a bit more dark than the others. There's not very many people who sort of are wandering down its streets. It seems awfully quiet as well.
That looks like the place I'm after.
Okay. Is Lance going with you?
Head in that direction. Well, I'm heading in that direction, so if Lance is still with me, then Lance is with me. I'm not
keeping an
trying
eye
to-
on him.
I'm not
so
trying
he
to
doesn't
shake
get-
him off or anything.
I figure it's probably safer to keep an eye on him so he doesn't get himself mugged or something.
Okay. So you sort of kind of go down this. You sort of go down this sort of darkened street. The sort of kind of fragrant smell starts to sort of turn to this sort of kind of quite ripe, pungent sort of odor. Sort of something like you might sort of notice in a tannery, or it's like flesh and something else. It's very, for most people, be quite distasteful. You would recognize the smell at the end of the Battle of Silkside. As you sort of kind of move through it, you see a sort of hunched up man sort of sitting in a doorway with a very sort of emaciated looking dog and a cup, and he's like, alms for the poor, alms for the poor.
I will walk over and drop a couple of coppers into his cup, and then ask him, "What brings you to this side of town, my son? My son, my friend."
And he's just like, "Oh, we lives here. This is our town. Thank you. Only a few coppers, though. Do you not have any more?"
Tell me what you know of this area. I'm looking in particular for the darker magics. I would welcome a recommendation rather than wandering blindly into an unknown shop.
He sort of kind of looks at you with a sort of kind of squinted eye and sort of looks at you sort of kind of oddly. I'm sort of kind of getting vibes of the guy in the bridge in on the bridge in the Holy Grail.
Nice.
What is your favorite color?
Original European bridge.
Yeah. So roll me a would it be persuasion? Charisma. Give me a charisma.
Oh dear, this isn't going to go well.
He sort of he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. No dark magic around here. You best leave. It gets dangerous around here at night.
I will drop another couple of coppers into his cup and thank him, and move onwards into the alleyway. What time
He,
of day is it, by the way?
it's sort of you're early-ish morning, to be honest. It's not sort
Right,
of. It's not.
I didn't think it was nighttime.
Yeah, it's not. It's early-ish morning and stuff. So he sort of kind of regards you walking on, and he says, "Be careful, Thomas Moonstar. Be careful." Then cackles, and as you sort of look around, he's not there anymore.
Interesting. Okay, I'll pick the third dodgy-looking shop on the left and wander in.
Okay. The shops aren't open. There's nothing open. It's literally it's a dark, muddy, dank-looking sort of street. You can't really see anybody out. The doors seem to be locked. Doesn't seem to be any way of getting into these
These
doors.
On one of the doors.
Say it again.
I'll knock on one of the doors.
Okay. So you knock on one of the doors, and it goes unanswered.
Okay, Thomas shrugs and walks out of the alleyway and walks back into the brighter part of town. And now goes looking for a stall that sells. I'm after a pearl, basically, a pearl that's worth 100 gold pieces. I need.
Okay. So you go to the sort of the main. You go to the main. The merchant district within the sort of where the mages, the sort of magic quarter is, and there's lots of sort of people sort of kind of hustling and bustling around you, sort of trying to sell you things. And he says, "Pearls, you want pearls? I have many pearls from the finest oysters in Al-Sahara. Come with me, my friend. I give you pearls."
I will go with him.
Right. So he leads you over to his stall, and he's just like, "Oh, my friend, this is many good pearls. 200 gold pieces. This be yours."
I will examine this pearl.
I says, "Oh, do you not trust me, friend? This is the best pearls. The best pearls in Al-Sahara. You not trust me?"
Not at all. I'm just making sure that I get value for my money.
Okay, give me a roll for... Give me an investigation roll then, I guess. You look at it, and it looks like a pearl.
Okay. I'll offer him 150 gold for it.
150 gold. Oh, yes. Yes, the hard bargain, my friend. 175.
I lean in and say, 125?
Yes. Yes. I was mistaken. Yes, 125 is fine, my friend. There you go. I don't want any trouble.
Grand, thank you.
I chuckle with a rumble and wink at Thomas.
Yeah, I'll give him. Well, I'm gonna give him. What will it be? 10 platinum is 100 gold, isn't it?
Yep.
So I'll give him 10 platinum and 25 gold.
Okay. Platinum. He sort of kind of bites it. He's just like, you come back anytime, my friend. Yes. Good customers.
I thank him, and we head on our way.
Oh, okay. Okay, back to the tower. What's everybody up to in Doogie's place?
Okay.
I believe I am done here. What about you guys?
I have learned enough, but I need to speak with my queen.
You need to speak to your queen. Right, so bear in mind, your queen's on the reservation, which is pretty far away.
Yeah. Can seers communicate over long distances?
Yes, I guess, yeah. You could use the seer to try. Well, see, I don't think it sort of kind of works like that. In that they just help you conduit to somebody, and your
Right.
conduit was basically what you saw. You could ask.
Well, as I'm a blood relation of Queen Ember,
Apparently.
apparently, there is that link.
There is a link, but you got the other link, so.
Okay, so we went down the wrong path, did we? Need to kind of go back and take the left instead of the right.
He went, yeah, he's just like, he says to you, I can try and divine your you to your queen, but you must understand there's a risk. You've just come out of a trance. If you go into one so quickly, you may not come back.
Check. We should leave this for now, but we'll come back to this later.
He says he sort of kind of gives you a bow, and starts kind of flicking through his little manuscript that he's got.
And
Okay.
Galandra gets up and goes to the door.
Before we leave, Valashul turns to Dougie and asks, is there a list of other seers in the surrounding areas that we could potentially get in case we don't come back to Taunt?
Yeah, he says it's surrounding area. He says, like, the Seers Guild in Balon is, there's a tower, there's a Seers Tower in each of the Triarch cities. A lot of the main cities here will have Seers. Pure Harbor in Cragmere will have one if you're going in that direction.
So he doesn't have a copy of the Murky Yellow Pages then?
Yeah. Basically, Draken will sort of kind of know this from. There's also a seer in each of the Dragon Towers. So there's Dragon Towers dotted around Freya, and these are basically these. I'll put you back onto the thingy map. The Black Tower, so the Iceborne Tower in Cragmere is a Dragon Tower, and there's these basically sort of dotted around all of Freya, and they can be used to communicate to other Dragon Towers. Like it's like olden days email, but sort of by sort of like Dragon Tower. He also says, if you need to get from one place to another, the Dragon Towers will, and you have the stomach for it, do have ways to, what do they call, fast travel?
Oh dear.
That's fancy.
But this is quite an expensive purchase.
How expensive? How expensive?
It all depends on how far you want to go, Dragonborn. If you want to go from the Ice Tower in Cragmere to the I can't remember what the other one was called. Where are we? Up here for Balon, to Flame Fort in Balon. Then that will cost you 100 gold.
Okay. We have much to think about.
Yep. Okay.
And we have much to discuss.
Yep. Okay. So, anything else, Val?
No, Val bows his head thankfully, and then turns towards the door to join the others.
Cool. All right. So, sort of. Oh, sorry.
Oh, one more thing. Are there mages in this city that can help with magic empowered items?
He sort of kind of looks at you and he goes, "You're in the magic quarter, my friend." Yes, I would say there is.
Can you recommend one?
Well, I can't remember the name of the guy downstairs. I don't even know if I named him or
I don't
not.
think we gave him a name yet, but that's basically where Tharavol's heading.
Okay.
1 minute. We'll give him a name. He is called
Scotty.
he's called Potrix. He's called Potrix Epan. I'll write this down so I don't forget. So, yeah, he says, I would say, Potrix downstairs. He's a very good mage.
Thank you, Sia.
Can we start calling the Dragonborn Columbo? And another thing.
One more thing. See, basically, if you're going to be Columbo, you need to sort of, you need to act completely stupid, like you don't know what's going on, and then suddenly,
And another thing.
one more thing.
And wear a dirty Mac.
Yeah. One more thing. I just love it the way he just like he just knows what's going on from day one, but he acts like an idiot. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what you're referring to.
You don't know Columbo?
Columbo?
You don't know Columbo?
Even I know Columbo.
Kids today.
The man who discovered America. You don't know him.
The man who discovered America was Americ Vespucci, I believe.
Know it all.
Easy for you to say.
Hence America, Americ. Well, that's it, there's some debate. There's some debate over that, but it's potentially Americ.
I imagine the Native Americans found it first. To be fair,
Of course, yeah. I'm just saying the ones who west, the Western people who sort of kind of find it.
Apparently, it's easier for him to say than Artificer, though.
Yeah. All right. So you've got Potrix Epan downstairs.
Okay. Jacken follows Farival downstairs to Potrix.
Okay. So you go down to Potrix, and he's sort of, he's an older gentleman, very sort of mage-like, beardy, red sort of kind of flowing gown, sitting there sort of kind of smoking a pipe and reading through a book.
Tharaval approaches him and says, "Good day, mage. I'm wondering if you can help me with an item that I have." And he holds out the the onyx figurine of the dog. He requests, is it possible to have the sort of spirit or whatever that actually the figurine turns into changed to a full term dog.
Oh, yes, the black onyx dog. Vessel for, let me see. He sort of kind of puts his hand over it and he says like, Nanook? Is this Nanook? Is his name? And you want it to be real, do you?
I do.
Yeah, I can do this for you. You do know, though, that if I do this for you, that's it. This creature will be real. If it's real, it can die.
I understand that. I've given many days thought for this.
And he says, okay. He says, he kind of goes off to his sort of kind of little bookshelf, and he says, how much is this going to cost you? Let me roll some dice so it's not just an arbitrary thing. It's going to cost you Yep, it's going to cost you 38 gold.
Okay.
Welcome.
I had a deception line already out for that in case I needed to try and talk him down.
No,
I was going to
it's
say.
just- I was basically that second dice was a multiplier. But it came up as it was a multiplier, but it came up as one. So
I was going to say it's a gift for the Treyarch of Punt. He wishes for it, so I could use my deception to try and drop the price. But
no, he's just like, It's just like, I do these things all the time, bringing back puppies, kittens. It's no different. 38 gold is enough.
Tharaval smiles for his goodwill and honesty and hands him 40 gold.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. Take it off your list. He sort of takes the statue and goes off to sort of the back room. Yeah, I'll be right back. And he says, "Oh, actually, it's going to take." I'm trying to think. This will take me about an hour. You're more than welcome to take yourself off to do other things, or you can wait. It's up to you.
I will return later. Thank you, mage.
He sort of bows and goes to take himself off into the other room. I'm assuming Draken nabs him before he does that.
Yeah, busy. Beg my indulgence, mage. I have some questions that I could do with your expertise in.
Mm-hmm. He's just like, yeah, it's okay. Very popular today. Yeah, Dougie
First
recommended
question,
me, no
Matt.
doubt.
He did indeed. One question, Matt. Does Draken know about the curse of the Berserker Axe?
No. All you know is that you can't be sort of
Right. So okay.
apart from the
So
axe.
I'll leave that one to the side for the moment.
Until you, I'd say you know something was up when somebody tells you something's happened. So at this moment in time, it's just an axe that you fucking love. You're just like, this is the best axe that's ever happened. And the only time when you will sort of maybe cotton on that something is up with the axe is when you go crazy and it overtakes you, and somebody tells you that's happened.
That's no difference than normal with Draken, to be fair, going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Magic items. Can they be improved or enhanced somehow? Is that a possibility, or are they basically just as they are?
He sort of kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, what sort of magic item do you want enhanced?"
Draken holds up the ring. This ring, it protects me. Could it be improved or enhanced? My knowledge of magic is minuscule at best.
Ring of protection, eh? Quite a rare item. It is theoretically possible to enhance this ring, but there is a risk when it comes to these fine crafted items. They don't like to be messed with. It's going to cost you, and there will be a risk, depending on what you want it to do.
Okay, that is the risk, and that is the cost.
The risk is that this ring will cease to be magic. The cost is 1,000 gold pieces.
I will think about it. I thank you.
He sort
And
of
he did.
he bows and he sort of takes the onyx dog into the back room.
Okay. Yeah, Draken's done. He follows Faravel out.
Yeah, I had no need for a mage, so I didn't stop into the mage on the way down. So I've just carried on.
Okay.
On down. I intend to head to the blacksmithing area.
Okay. Val, what are you doing? Are you following suit, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm gonna follow suit.
Okay. So you both sort of take yourself off back the way you came towards the inn. It's a busy town. There's lots going on. You're pretty sure you spy one of those little shit kids who tried to rob you, sort of running off, into one of the alleyways.
Are you not just at where that number 2 is?
You're at number 3.
Oh, right, okay. I thought we were at number 2.
No, you're at number 3.
Lance was at number 2, I think.
Yeah, you're at number 3. So yeah, you're going across the river. It's quite busy, as would be in a city like this. What am I gonna do here? How am I going to give you a random encounter? No, okay. Are you going sort of as you are, just sort of in your armor? Are you in disguise or anything? Or, well, not disguise. You got your hoods up or anything? Or how are you going about it?
Is this all of us are outside now, or?
Oh, you're all outside. Well, yeah, you're all outside. You can go with them if you want as well.
Well, I was going to roll perception on. So Tharavel can speak, thieves can't.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is basically like a sort of jargon language, sort of written and sort of by thieves and thieves guilds and people sort of a shady nature. Basically, usually what happens, there's like signs and words left about the place for directions to like sort of safe houses and stuff like that. So he wants to perceive if he can see anything of that sort of nature that might sort of direct them in the towards possibly the leader or the group of urchins or thieves.
Roll me a perception roll then.
Where's my perception gone?
You're not, you don't notice any. You're in the magic quarter, so you're not really seeing a lot here. Thieves would be slightly sort of, well, not unlikely, but
it's not the right area, basically.
Yeah, it's not the right area, especially with lots of magic users and stuff around. You do notice Thomas walking down from Thomas and Lance walking down from a sort of kind of darkened street to the north.
In that case, Tharavel's going to take himself off that direction.
Towards them. Draken, what are you doing? Are you going with Galandra and Val? Are you going with Tharavel?
Draken's going with Galandra and Valishul.
Okay. So Thomas and Lance, are you going? Sorry, Tharavel, are you going fully sort of? Are you?
He's going to go into the sort of darkness and put his hood up and basically just stay in the shadows and things like that. But ultimately, he's having a look about to see if there's anything that he can find.
Yeah. So you go up and you see sort of. You see Thomas and Lance talking to a merchant, and Lance sort of kind of seems to lean over and sort of say something into this sort of merchant's ear. He sort of kind of recoils slightly and sort of kind of hands Thomas an item. They then sort of kind of start, looking around the other shops. Thomas and Lance, anything else?
No, I think Thomas has got everything he needs, so
Cool.
If there's nothing else around and no one that we can see, just gonna head back to the inn and read some more of my book.
Okay, Lance, what are you up to?
I'm going to walk back most of the way with him, then I'll divert off to the library to follow up with my new friend.
Okay. And Tharaval, you see them sort of kind of walking off towards sort of the inn, effectively. What are you doing?
Basically, he's gonna make his way down the sort of dark alleys and have a little look about around there.
Okay. Roll me a perception roll then.
Gonna get mugged by an old man with a mug, isn't he?
Okay. As you're sort of kind of walking down the sort of kind of the street, you notice there's sort of etchings on you see there's like etchings on a wall near like a sort of quite grim looking building. I'm going to recognize this. What languages do you know?
It's called Thieves' Cant, which is let me see. What does it say about it? I mean, I actually have to look this up. There it is. During your rogue training, you learned Thieves' Cant, a secret mix of dialect, jargon, and code that allows you to hide messages in seemingly normal conversation. Only another creature that knows Thieves' Cant
Yeah, so it's not written.
such messages. It takes 4 times longer to convey such a message than it does to speak the same idea plainly. So it's in addition,
Spoken.
you understand a set of secret signs and symbols used to convey short, simple messages, such as whether an area is dangerous.
It's gesture, so it's not going to be written.
In addition, you understand a set of secret signs and symbols used to convey short, simple messages, such as whether an area is dangerous or the territory of a thieves' guild, whether
Okay.
it is nearby, or whether the people in an area are easy marks or will provide a safe house for thieves on the run.
Okay. Okay. So you notice in the symbol it's effectively it's a skull, effectively, or it's sort of kind of it's sort of you sort of kind of read it as sort of meaning sort of death. You know it's obviously being sort of put there by somebody on the sort of kind of you're a rogue type, but it sort of kind of infers that this is a den of necromancy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Thomas doesn't know about this because he's gone home to read his book.
Basically, Tharaval sort of reading the sign, takes the area, sort of reads that the area is of a dangerous nature, and therefore starts to make his way back to the main sort of part of the town where it's a bit safer.
Yep. Okay. All right. So Val, Galandra, and Draken, are you sort of walking as normal? How are you sort of kind of conducting yourself?
What?
I imagine we'd be in a rush.
What did my amulet against detection do? What was the specifics of that?
Proof of against detection and location. While wearing the amulet, you're hidden from divination magic. You can't be targeted by such magic or perceived through magical scrying sessions. Scrying, basically. So nobody whose magic can see where you are, basically.
It's only against
Magic.
magic.
Yeah, it's against magic.
Yeah. Galandra's just putting her hood up and walking to.
I have to be right back a second. Sorry.
Yep.
Galandra's just putting her hood up and walking to the blacksmith because she's had a very traumatic experience in a freaking dream sequence and just wants to get her armor repaired and go to sleep.
Okay. So as you're sort of kind of walking along, you've got lots of sort of, actually, what direction are you going to go? How are you going to, tell me which route you're taking to the blacksmiths.
Well, I ain't gonna go down that alleyway with all the damn urchins again.
So are you going sort of up, let's see which way.
We keep to the main streets, I think.
Right.
Keep to the main streets, and just like Draken is.
All right, so you're going through the
on edge.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So you're going through the sort of the main square, and you. Right. Okay. Let me just. As you sort of kind of make your way into the square, one of the soldiers on guard sort of kind of looks at you, looks at Galandra, and then sort of kind of looks. Who was with you, by the way, when you did your little speech? Val and
Thomas, was it?
Thomas, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas.
So he looks at Val and he looks at you and he's just like, it's you, and he's just like, he sort of kind of he runs over to you, sort of ignoring his post, and the sergeant says, "Oi, Stevens, get back here!" And he's just like, Sarge, it's them. And he kind of runs over, and he sort of kind of bows, and he's just like, he says, "You were at the Battle of Silkside. He's like, I saw you speak just over there. It's you."
Yes, it is I, Eclair.
It's I, declare.
Yes, my good man. Please rise.
So he sort of kind of gets up and he's just like, the sergeant sort of kind of says, "Excuse me, my lady. This soon to be incarcerated private shouldn't have bothered you." And he sort of
Incarcerated.
dereliction of duty. He says, "Get over there." And he sort of kind of gives him a clout, and the soldier sort of salutes to the sergeant and sort of kind of runs off to the back to his sort of post. And he sort of says, "We thank you, my lady, and you, sir," as he bows to sort of both of you. And he sort of kind of looks at Draken and he says, "And you must be the hero of Falcross as well. You're Draken, aren't you?"
I am he. I am no hero. I just do what needs to be done.
And he says, we owe you much, warriors. Should you ever need my assistance, you have my sword and that of my men." And he sort of kind of bows his head and sort of walks off towards the parade ground.
Well, that was
Dragon Sword unit, yay!
that was a pleasant encounter. And I put my hood back up and carried towards the blacksmith.
Okay, so you go to, it's like a district full of like, is it farriers? And what do they call sort of people who sort of kind of do farriers? Is that what they do? Sort of kind of horse? You should know this
Farriers
stuff.
do
Yes.
horse
Yeah, farriers
Yes.
and sort of, blacksmiths and general smiths. Any smithing of any type. There's sort of, it's here. You go to sort of one of the main sort of blacksmiths in the area, and there's a chap there, and he's just like, "All right, what can I do you for?"
Question: how do I know like what my what damage I've taken from my armor? Like,
Yeah, it's just gonna be. It's gonna be probably
I didn't get hit that many times. Besides in freaking dream sequence, which I'm assuming doesn't affect my.
Okay, so how many times did you get downed? Did you get downed at all?
What in the Battle of Silkside?
Well, no. Basically, since the last time you got your armor, which would have been quite a fair time ago, what was the sort of
Downed once because I was bragging about not being hit for ages, and then I got hit once.
Okay. You've been downed. Have you taken damage?
I don't know. It wasn't that often.
Okay. I'm just going to give you an arbitrary figure for repairs and things, basically. I'll probably be the same for, unless you want to trade in and try and buy some other armor and stuff. It's
plate again, 1500.
plate's 15, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the price for
So you've got splint mail. Let me just see. Okay, so it's going to cost you for repairs. It's going to cost you both because you both got splint mail. It's going to cost you 50 gold for armor and sort of like 10 gold so 60 all in all for general repairs. You can try and haggle with them if you want to.
Okay, so 60 for repairs. What would it be? What would my chainmail be traded in for?
You've got chainmail still, yeah. So chainmail new is 75, but he'll buy it for 35.
And what would my splint be traded in for?
He'll give you 100 gold for your splint after it's been fixed. Or he'll give you 40 gold for it unfixed. Again, if you want to try and sort of haggle with him and stuff, you can try.
Okay.
And bear in mind your character sheet. There's probably other things. I'm sure you've got like gemstones and art pieces and things potentially that you could probably trade in if you wanted to. And you've got other things you could probably offer him if you wanted.
Okay.
Somebody's still got that helm of you got the helm of comprehension somewhere as well. I think.
Yeah, Thomas has that.
Okay. I'm going to sell him the chainmail.
So for 35.
And the frigging crystal glass I'm carrying around for no reason.
The one that bounces and doesn't break.
Yeah. I've investigated that thing multiple times with good rolls, and it's just a freaking glass thing that doesn't break. So
he's like, he sort of kind of looks at it and says, I do like, I'm forever breaking my, my tank guards. So I'll give you. I'll give you 11 gold for that.
That is fine. I will take that offer. So what he's giving me 30, 40,
You've got 46 so far.
46 extra gold. These repairs, and I take my hood down. What is the leeway? Do you have the same price for everybody?
Okay, so basically you want to see if he recognizes you or not.
Is that persuasion? Or...
roll me a Yeah, persuasion. Roll me persuasion. 14. He sort of looks at you and actually, you want 1 minute? I'll see if he recognizes you or not. He does not. Okay, so he just says,
was-
say it again?
What about Draken? Would you recognise Draken?
Okay, I'll give another roll. See if he sort of he recognizes anybody.
Ooh.
Yeah, he recognizes Draken. Obviously, he looks at he's just sort of like, well, are you with the hero of Fallcross Bridge?
Yes, we are a party of adventurers that travel together.
He says, "Oh my God, it's you! I'm sorry, milady. I'm sorry. Of course. And he sort of says, he will. So, what is it you're wanting a discount on?
I was just seeing what the discount would be for
Repairs.
one for repairs of my splint, and what he would offer for plate.
He says, plate's quite expensive, quite well done, quite well made. Or you can give you the plate mail full cost, but I'll give you repairs for free.
Oh. Alright, I'm looking at my character sheet and how much money I've got. I've calculated it all and I feel like I've got too much. Oh, I've just also closed Roll20.
We all got like.
Oh no, there it is.
Yeah, I just want you to bear in mind you also have potential overheads to sort of pay for and stuff. Depending, you have acquired yourself a fortification, so.
Have I been DC'd from? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say
but I think everybody did.
I
Actually,
think
mine.
Roll20 is just gone up.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, so no, I don't have more than I should have. Okay, that's fine.
So you'll basically it'll cost you 1,500 for the plate, but you can have actually because you're going to be set. You can set you could because you're not going to need repair because you're going to have. He'll give you if you're going to trade in the chainmail and the splint as well. He'll give you 200 for. He'll give you 200 to the trade-in for those, so you can buy the plate for 1,300.
Is there a period we have to wait? Sorry, I've got my mouth full. Is there a period we have to wait to get our plate armor?
No, it's there. Maybe you might he'll need to sort of make sure it sort of fits tailor it to you and stuff. But that take about an hour or something. 20 minutes, an hour or something like that. But there's he is an armor smith. There's armor pretty much of all types there.
Yeah.
He does say that he's I don't want to see it because I could send you off on a little side quest, but that means you're gonna get stuck in taunt for fucking ages, and I don't know if I want you to stick you in taunt for ages. You've been in Balon for long enough, I think.
No side quests, Tar.
Say it again.
No side quests, Tar.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave the side quest. All right.
There's a cat over there with a shiny light on it. We need to go and speak to it.
Story, Danny. Story.
Yeah. He's just sort of 1,300 for the plate. And give me the chainmail and the splint. You can have it as that.
Turn to Val and say, "What say you, Val? Do you think it's a good deal?"
Valishal was already unlatching his money bag from his belt.
Counting his coins.
And then just drops it on whatever desk is nearby. Make a nice big jingly clank.
Okay, so you're both buying plate then? You're both buying plates?
We're getting pimped out.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Like big shiny studs on mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So take.
Exhibit's gonna come out like pimp my armor.
Yeah. So. Let me just sort of add this to your character sheets. So take off. Sorry, I'll do it. So that's 1,300, which is 130 platinum, I believe. Then gone.
I have mine down in gold on my sheet, so I don't know what I had down in I didn't have it down in platinum.
All right. Okay. I will take it off then from both of yous, and your obviously your things are gone. Draken, what would you like?
I would like my axe repaired.
Which axe? Which axe?
The other one, not
other-
not this latest one. The backup axe.
The backup axe. Okay. And you're not wearing armor, are you?
No.
You're not wearing armor. Yeah. So he kind of looks at it and he says, "For you, hero, free of charge." No, sorry. For you, hero, free of charge. Sorry, wrong accent.
I'm seriously tempted to lend Draken my own axe and see if he can juggle.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so
I'm in the
he
wrong
basically
place,
he takes your axe and sort of like, he sort of kind of goes off to his forge and starts sort of starts fixing it while the rest of them sort of get fitted into their armor. He sort of calls in a couple of his sort of menials who start sort of kind of suiting up Galandra and Val in their plate meal. Okay, so
Oh my god, it's a makeover.
yeah.
You have to add.
I'm thinking like the suit up. I'm thinking the Iron Man suit up sequence.
I'm just taking off.
You have to add like the plate mail, and it does something to.
Yeah,
AC.
it'll increase your AC to like stupid amounts. Bear with me 1 minute while I just take off.
I've taken my mail off and my glass stupid non-shattering thing off.
So you've taken off your thing. You didn't have chainmail anymore. Okay, so Val therefore has 70 platinum left. So that's that. I will add plate mail in there. Plate. Plate armor. There we go.
We'll just walk out the armory like.
Plate armor, which means you're now armor class. You're now armor class 20. Val,
They walking out being reeled out on a trolley.
you're in full plate, which means you're at disadvantage in any sort of stealth, any stealth and dexterity sort of throws and stuff.
Can I buy a horse now?
You can try it, buy a horse if you want.
I was just gonna come back to the party on a horse with a massive lance. Just like, yeah.
I just been buying the horse and the horse running away.
Galandra, let me see. You need.
more horse have you in plate.
Let me just
You
see.
not need to learn to ride the horse first.
Yeah, you need to learn the ride the horse and stuff first. You've got to have. So that's like your downtime. You can kind of use it to sort of learn skills, and riding horses would be one
It's
of
gonna be
said
like a
skills.
knight's tale. It's gonna be great.
What? How does the weight of the plate affect their encumbrance? By the way, with all the extra with all the platinum and gold.
Very.
I'm just sort of taking
I
these.
got rid of all my other, like.
Have you any idea how much steel you just strapped onto you, and how much that weighs?
Yeah, but it counts as it's like 30 pounds or something like that. isn't it?
60, I
It's
think.
not more. 60?
65 for plate armor, yeah.
It's only £5 more than me splint, so.
And you have, so it's 1,300, so that gives you 746 gold left, Danny. Okay, so you've got plate. Your AC is now 20 as well, so you're both tanking it. And that's it. You've done. You've taken your things off. So yeah, Lance. What are you up to in the library?
Well, I need to go and find my friend the librarian, see if she's had any luck finding information for me.
Okay. And what was it specifically you were looking for? Basically, just blueprints, Warforged blueprints.
Information about my origin and my construction. So she was going to look into my originator as well.
Yeah, so
See
we
if
know
there was
who
anything
made you
associated.
Vimbor.
So to see if there's anything associated with him which would describe my construction.
Did I give you a name for the guy who made you? I did give you a name.
Vimbor.
He was called Vimbor was the area, I think. Vimbor was the name of the top. Vimbor is the name of the area.
Okay.
I did. I gave you a name of the guy. Oh, what was the guy's? What was that?
Torrestel Battle Shaper.
Ah, yeah, Battle Shaper. What was the first name?
Torrestel, I think. If I can
Sounds
read
right.
my own writing.
Torrestel Battle Shaper. Yes, Torrestel Battle Shaper. That was it. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna do a roll here. See how successful she's been. She comes back to you and she looks at you and it's like, I'm afraid I have currently been unable to find anything additional with regards to your origins, Ranger. With more time, I may be able to find something, but currently this is a large library.
I do thank you for your efforts. I will do my best to check in periodically because it does intrigue me to learn a bit more of my origin since I have lost so much while I was out of commission over the years.
Okay.
But I do appreciate that you have taken this time to help me. I will pop back a little later when things are quieter so that we can have that conversation I promised you because I made a commitment to you.
Okay.
Thank you once again.
It's just like, oh, I thank you. I will try my hardest to find something for you.
I reach into my purse or into my pocket and I make a small donation to the library funds of 10 silver pieces.
Okay, it's just like, oh, you're so generous. I will get help onto this. And she sort of kind of goes to sort of waves over one of her sort of assistants, and she sort of kind of explains what she's looking for, and they sort of go off to try and find something.
I put my hood back up again and try to slip out as inconspicuously as possible.
Okay.
To head back to the Artificer's Quarter.
Okay.
You need to find your owner's manual.
Yeah. Okay. So
they're out of Haynes manuals.
you sort of make your way back to the Artificer's quarter.
As I get into the area,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try something here. It's obviously still going to be quite busy with them working and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to take back my hood and push back my cloak and stuff, so it's very obvious what I am.
Yeah.
And I'm going to walk slowly through, trying to draw attention.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Making an assumption that they're all a bunch of engineering geeks, and the last thing they're going to want to do is to not notice something that they probably desperately want to get their hands on.
So you're looking a whole load of strangers to touch you?
I'm inviting them to pay attention.
Yeah.
You're such a tease.
Yeah, they're all like super busy, and nobody's really paying attention. They're all sort of kind of, so far everybody's sort of just kind of doing their thing, and they're not really paying attention to who's walking around on the streets at this moment in time.
I'm going to start walking over and browsing in the stores and bumping into them.
Okay.
Apologizing.
Yeah, it's like it's like mind your business. No, it's not mind your mind your step, you bloody oaf. I'm busy here.
I am very sorry to have interrupted your work, sir. I am just looking at options and opportunities for self-improvement.
He sort of kind of looks up at you, and sort of kind of his mouth sort of kind of just goes like this, and he's just like, you're
I'm very sorry to have interrupted you, sir. I must get on my way.
Oh, whoa there. You're one of those Warforged, aren't you? Oh my God, I've never seen one of these. Cleveland Cleveland was banging on about a Warforged, and I didn't believe that crazy mother. But you're here. My God, what can I do you for?
I am simply browsing at the moment. I have obviously an arrangement with Cleveland, and I trust him to work with me. But I thought it would be interesting as I made my way back. Just
whoa! You got an arrangement with Cleveland. You know, I can match any price that he has, and I'll do a better job.
Really, I'm not sure. He seemed very confident.
Well, you know, he's a halfling. You know, you can't trust those bloody bladders. You know, just small hands.
Smells like cabbage.
Smells like cabbage.
So I smile and say, well, I will bear that in mind. I didn't catch your name.
My name is... yeah, I should... my name is... let's go for...
Slim Shady.
He didn't sound very slim.
My name is... they just call me Sparks. My name... Sparks the name, artificing is the game. I'll do you a better deal than that halfling up there if you come to me.
I will bear that in mind. I do thank you, and I possibly will talk to you a little bit later on.
It's like,
I just got to scroll
no,
off.
you come back here. You know, just trust me. I am one of the best artificers in Taunt, if not all of Balon. Don't listen to Cleveland. I can help you out. You come back here, okay?
And I just laugh and call out quite loudly for effect. Thank you very much. I just need to pop along and see Cleveland. We do have an understanding in place, and he does seem very confident that he can do better.
And he's just like, he's sort of kind of like blustering slightly, and he's just like, and he sort of kind of watches you walk off.
Is anybody else paying attention?
Yeah, there's a few of the other ones are sort of kind of looking around and sort of gawping at you now. And he sort of kind of is just like he's sort of calling after you. So a few of the other ones have sort of kind of made their way out of their sort of workshops and are sort of kind of following you as you go towards Cleveland's.
As I get closer, I start calling Cleveland's name to get his attention.
Cleveland. Oh crap! I can't even remember what accent I gave Cleveland. What was Cleveland's accent?
I can't remember, to be honest.
You're doing a bit of a solding at the minute. Come here, everyone. Look at me.
Yeah. Cleveland. I think he was. Oh, Mr. Frodo. He was one of those, wasn't he? He's just like, all right there, Ranger. Come back, have you? Want those modifications?
I smile and make a big act of saying hi to him. Cleveland, my old friend. Your colleagues over here seem to think that I should be working with them. I did explain to them that I trust you very much to be the best of them, and that you've promised to help me out, and I value the integrity you've shown.
He says, like, bugger off, Sparks. This is my business. Bugger off. Hey, you, Cleveland, you know I'm a better artificer than you. And then another one says like, I can do better than him. Fucking you guys. And you basically have this sort of melee of artificers sort of kind of come in, surrounding you. And they're all going, sort of arguing with each other, sort of pointing fingers. They're like in and around you, sort of kind of arguing with each other about, basically helping you out.
So while they're in the middle of all this, I try not to chuckle because it's obviously quite comical the way they're all pointing and falling over each other. And I just reach down and pick Cleveland up and say, so that was 750 feet per leg? Plus the free publicity?
750 gold per leg. 750 gold per leg. Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Oh God, -1. I'll see how I do.
Yep. Okay. Yep. He's just like, He's just like, it's just like, well, as long as you don't go out, Mr. Sparks, I'll try my best. But I told you there's a little risk with this.
I do understand that, but I also understand that none of them have worked with someone like me before, and you doing well, now that they'll know about it, will make you well and truly the top of the heap for a little while, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he sort of kind of goes, "Oi," he's just like, "Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, okay, yeah, follow me." And he sort of kind of sticks his tongue out to the rest of them, and sort of gives the fingers to a few others, and he sort of kind of stumps off. And they're all like, "No, come back." It's like, he's like, Ranger, come back. We can help you. And Sparks is like, "Come on, Ranger, come on. I'm the best."
I smile and wave as the door closes behind me.
Yeah. Okay, so for 1,000, what's it going to be? Hang on, my math. 1,500.
Yep.
1,500. He will have a go at your legs, basically.
Okay, so that is going to be what, 140 platinum? No, sorry, 120 platinum plus 100 gold.
Yeah. No, it's going to take. How long is it going to take? It's going to take.
What?
It's going to take 17 hours.
Okay, so I have obviously my faithful retainer, which is the archer Eldrith.
Oh, we forgot about them. Yeah, I forgot about her.
So I'm going to ask her to head back to the inn and let the others know where I am. And
do you know who else we've forgotten about? Who we always forget about?
Actually.
Gregor.
Our kid's just getting drunk in the inn. We keep forgetting him.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, forgotten again.
Very safe, to be fair.
Yeah. So what were you saying there?
I'm going to send Eldrith back to let them know that I have chosen to go ahead with the adjustments we discussed, and for a slightly lower price, and that I will be available again the next day.
Okay. Right.
After the blacksmith.
So are you going back to the inn then? Now after the blacksmith?
Yeah.
Tharavel, are you going back to the inn or?
I was going to go to the blacksmith as well and just get some quick repairs. Like if he gives me a price, I don't really fancy sort of farting about in the blacksmith for too long or anything like that. It's just
okay.
repairs and
Just
replenishment of bodkin arrows.
Yeah, just 20 gold then.
Done.
Okay, where are you going after the blacksmith?
Back to the inn, I suppose. Basically, Tharavol's after seeing the symbols in the alleyway, he just wants to sort of give Thomas and Lance a bit of a warning as to the area that they were in.
Okay.
And the reasons why.
Okay, so you all sort of kind of head back to the inn. It's sort of late afternoon now, sort of mid to late afternoon. What's the name of your retainer, Lance?
You said that she was Eldrith.
Eldrith. I need to write these names down. Eldrith. So Eldrith basically comes back and says, this is the Ranger Lance is to be waylaid for up to 17 hours while he has some alterations done to his person. He hopes you may I don't know what else to want to say to them.
He apologises for the lack of forewarning.
Yeah. He apologised for the lack of forewarning and will be with you in the morning.
Okay.
I say we eat, drink, and be merry till then, and then set off to the Taunt residence once we have acquired the entire party.
Okay. So, are you telling? Are you going to tell Tom? Are you going to tell Thomas about the what you saw them?
Yeah. So basically, Tharavel just sort of brings up in conversation to Thomas that he noticed where the alleyway that him and Lance came from is and basically says be careful, wizard, of the areas of this town that you and that ranger walk about in. There are evil things in some of those dark alleys.
Thomas looks up and nods to Tharavel, smiles, and returns to his book.
Wow.
Thomas has got a lot of reading to do.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Tom, you know, we can basically expedite this slightly and say that, you know, is there anything else you kind of want to do within the town within? So it's sort of late afternoon, so you've got maybe a few hours of sort of like light to do any other shopping, if you want to buy anything, if you want to sort of, you know, do anything in Taunt. You know, you might want to discuss how you deal with your fortification and stuff. You know, again, you know, contractors to help build, to help fix stuff. Where you're going to get supplies from, where you're going to get the men from. Things like that. Who's going to pay for it, what's going to be paid for, etc., etc.
I thought we had to.
How much
try
land
out
is
before
attached?
this.
You can't do, but yeah.
How much land comes with this fort?
Currently, it's just a fort.
Yeah, but it must be like some surrounding land that is its essential property.
Well, no, because it's not a fort. It's basically, it was a trading post, a fortified trading post. So it is what it is, basically.
Tharavel he's just going to go back to the mage to collect his pet.
Yep. So you paid him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep. So you go back to the tower and Portis, what do I call him? Is it Portrix? Potrix. Yeah, my writing. Potrix. Sort of comes out, and beside him, sort of kind of comes a quite a large looking dog, larger than sort of a normal dog. And it sort of takes one look at you and takes a bound over and jumps up at you.
Yeah. A smile actually cracks on Tharavel's face, despite his sort of inward thoughts. He embraces the dog, as if, you know, as he would, is like, "Oh, it's a big dog. Who's a good dog?" And nods to the mage and thanks him.
The mage says, "This is a what they call a juvenile war mastiff. As you train it, it will gain in size and in strength."
I ask him where and who would train such a beast, or what are the best methods for training them? What do you know?
He says, magic is an expensive way to do it. You could go to one of the Beastmasters. You could go into the Beastmasters again. That will take time, but experience, food, generally, it fighting by your side will increase its stature.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mage. We shall be on our way.
It's like he says, here you go, Nanook, and sort of throws her a sort of kind of like a biscuit. Oh, he sort of gives you these. He gives you a little pouch of these little biscuits. He says, just in case, and sort of gives you them.
Here. Okay. Yeah. So Tharavel just heads back to the inn then with the dog.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do war stats for stats for a war mastiff now. Okay, so
Matt's got homework.
You okay there, Danny?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll probably end it sort of. We'll get sort of. We can do the sort of talking to Alistair. Not Alistair. Alistair's the great grandfather. We're talking to Lysander Taunt on what's it called?
Discord.
On Discord, so we can do that as sort of, basically see what happens to. In fact, we'll do this now. So, we'll say it's the next day, and I'm going to do some rolls for each of your legs. So you wanted a +2 dexterity, didn't you?
I wanted to see if I could increase my dexterity by 1 or 2 if possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the morning after breakfast, Thomas is going to wander down to the Artificer and just have take a bit of interest in what he's doing.
Okay. So I'm going to roll a. Okay.
Nice.
You would like that one.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Your legs are perfectly fine. You basically you sort of kind of look down, and they've got these new engravings in them, and they've sort of. There's like this sort of slight squeak that's now gone, and they're really sort of kind of like you seem to be able to sort of kind of push up on them, and you sort of kind of jump really high as you get them. You sort of try them out, and he says, "That's some of my finest work. That is. Look at that! First time in a Warforged."
Yeah, I shall be sure to recommend you to anyone. And should I come past this way again, I would be very happy to bring more work your way.
Why, thank you, Ranger. Thank you. Oh, this is gonna make old Sparks well jealous. He is.
I'll remember to wave to him on the way out, shall I?
Yes. Oh, please do. Please do. Flex a bit. So you can increase your dexterity by 2.
Okay, so let's see then. Ooh, +3 then. Cool. Right then, that's done.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that I come out and find, as I'm doing this, Thomas wanders in looking curious.
Yeah. So, or maybe he was there at the time. It depends if he wants to kind of ask any questions or do anything or anything.
Just observing and.
Yeah. So yeah, and we'll just leave it there, I think, because Danny's going to fall asleep.
Poor Danny.
Poor Danny. Okay, so we'll leave it there, and we'll do Lysander's taunt, and then hopefully we will move on next week to the next area and stuff. So yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. RJ, thanks a lot, man. Much appreciated for the view and the comments, and everybody else who's watched. Before we go, make sure you check out the Discord, because that's going to have a lot of the role playing that is in the downtime. It's just Geek Pride. I wonder if I can. I'll share a link at the bottom of the thing, but it's just Geek Pride on Discord. As for that, I will bid you adieu. For tonight, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Danny as Glandra Rivenstar. Michael as Tharavel.
Night, guys.
Wes as Valashil Nostius.
Good night, everyone.
Dave as Thomas Moonstar. Mark as Lance.
Boing.
And Pete as Dragon.
Good night, everyone. NASA's landed on Mars with Perseverance!
Way! Night, everybody. Bye.
Night all.